I had mentioned something about one of our players, and Ricky said, Hawk, he said, what you're saying is right. He said, but I just don't want to fill these guys' heads with too much information.
He's right about that because they got all kinds of time.
When he said that, I just felt like giving him a standing O, because that is what so many organizations are doing with their young players. They are just inundating their brains with TMI, too much information. The more information they try to absorb, the less they keep their childlike qualities. Here's Delmonico. He struck out.
And they infect our precious bodily fluids. What? Their childlike qualities?
Yeah. This
You guys are making $20 million a year?
But it's a kid's game, Dan.
Oh, okay. They're childlike qualities?
See ball, hit ball. That's what he's talking about. Take it back to the T-ball era. And then, Pony League.
I'm going to have a talk with Kyle Hendricks about all these thoughts he has in his head that are sapping his childlike qualities.
The more numbers that are in there, the less fun that can be in there.
The more information, these scouting reports and information. I get it. It is taking away their precious childlike qualities.
How much do baseball players care about their numbers? There's guys that say, I don't care. If I get the win, I'm all good. And if not, then if it go 4 for 5 in a loss, then I'm angry. But in a game where numbers define you, and more so now than ever with, runs created and weighted on base average and everything, we laugh at the calls that come in about your RBI numbers as if you can, put people on base magically before you and then all of a sudden knock them in. But do you look at numbers, or do guys around the league look at numbers and go, man, this is not where I'm at. This is not where I'm supposed to be, or is it all about the W?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said nobody looked at them. I think everybody has a certain amount of pride in themselves, and they want to do all they can to help the team win. And I think in order to do that, you have to go out there and perform. So it's a kind of a, both. I mean, obviously, the main goal is to win and to win a World Series, and I think everybody on the team wants to contribute in some way. So it is a game where you're defined by your numbers, and if you don't produce, you're not going to be playing. And I think every player realizes that. So, but it is tough at times, just because it's such a game where you're failing all the time, and there's going to be way more bad days than good days, and sometimes it's hard to wake up and realize that and accept that at times. But I think that's what really makes the game great, is that you could have a terrible series and then come out and have an awesome game, and it's almost like all those those previous 3 games are completely forgotten, and that's kind of what just keeps you going. So there's a balance between the two, that's for sure.
All right, so the advanced metrics, we made fun of Hawk Harrelson yesterday by saying that it's taking the kid out of all of these players with all the information, the overload of information. My partner is an advanced metric analytical dude, and I'm more of a casual baseball fan, so I don't need to argue all the way down to like I said, weighted runs created and what this guy does on a Thursday when he doesn't file his nails down. So, and people get mad at me for that because they're like, Goff, no more about the things that I care about. And I don't have time for those arguments. But with you guys, I know Kyle Hendricks, he takes that deep dive. But for you, how much is too much? Do you want everything? Like, give me how you feel about the numbers and what you want to know. And also the stuff that the pitchers are throwing at you in terms of, okay, this guy likes to do this and this count. Like, how is it applied in a real sense for a Major League Baseball player like yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it earlier with what you said. It takes the kid out of the game. I mean, when I was growing up, there was no, who cares how hard you hit the ball or whatever. If you got a hit, you're happy. There's no exit velocity or any of this launch angle or, these new stats that they're coming up with. It's just making the game, some like it, but it's just, some of it takes the joy and stuff out of the game and why you started to play it, sometimes that's frustrating, and I do realize that's kind of where the game's going, and it's up to me if I really want to look at that stuff or not. And sometimes I'll look at it just to, see exactly what it is. But half the time I don't understand it. So that's a good thing.
So you are aware if your exit velo is down, if someone comes up to you and say, hey, you're only hitting the ball 87 miles an hour on average out of the off the plate, like those things, guys are aware of those things. They've made their way inside the clubhouses.
Oh, sir, it's everywhere. I mean, if you want something, you can have all the information you want. But for me, I don't need to look at that to make myself feel better or try to change something. I mean, I know if I hit the ball hard or if I don't hit the ball hard or if I put a good swing on it or if I didn't. I don't need a number to tell me that, oh, you're doing this or that wrong or any of that. So I choose not to look at that. It's just way too much information at times, and sometimes it's in your head. I mean, you don't want to go up to the plate thinking, oh my gosh, my exit velocity is at 87.3. I have to hit this one 100 miles an hour to bring it up. I mean, there's so much information nowadays that, that's kind of been a goal of mine this year. It's like, just forget about all that craziness and let the people on, TV and stuff talk about that and I just want to go out there and play,
As the pitcher releases the ball, you're like trying to dissect the spin ratio. It isn't spinning quite as quickly as we thought it would.
Yeah, right. I don't even know how it works.
I love the fact, though. See, this is. Oh God, I wish Dan was here because Dan would in his own way try to grill you on not wanting to know more.
Yeah.
Are there guys who want, like, who's the guy on the team that but likes to be fed that kind of information?
Man, honestly, because me and myself and my personality in wanting to avoid all that, I guess I don't seek it, and I guess I don't look for anybody wanting to see that information, So, I could tell you, I don't think there's many guys that like to know all the information. It's kind of, you just do your homework. You look at the pitcher, you look at his video, you look how he's pitched to you before in the past, but there's no looking at what spin rates or what any of that with the pitcher, but I guess it just I'm not looking for it. So I don't know.